Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Focus on Stafford County show here on 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Our chance to visit once again with Ryan Russell, Stafford County Economic Development Director. And we've got a whole bunch of things to talk about, Ryan, so let's get right into it today. So let's tell me about some lunch and learns.
Yeah, so we have partnered with Joe McFadden and the Ida Long Goodman Memorial Library in St. John to offer twice a month. We do lunch and learns at the bottom basement floor community room. And we've had some really great talks so far. We've had Becky Tanner come in and talk about the Exodusters. We've had Julie Haas come in and talk about estate planning. We're having all these different talks about history, economics. We had Cassie Smith from SJN come in and talk about first-time home buyers. Just a lot of really informative talks, and then we provide lunch for you. So you get to come and hang out. We've been averaging around 20 people.
Really? That's really good.
Hanging out with us. So on March 8th, I'm actually doing a talk, and it's the one of two on the 13 ways to kill your community. So this is a book that's been going around. People have been doing book clubs with it, and I'm going to be doing kind of like a shortened book club. So we'll be handing out books at the first session, and then I'll talk through the book a little bit and then let people read it for a month and then come back in a month and do a second session, and I'll talk about it again and have kind of like a group community discussion about it. And I'm hoping to use this book in multiple venues over the next while to kind of just get community leaders and even just whoever wants to be more civically minded to think about like how your community is operating and what you can do to make your communities better.
These things are really going well. That's what you wanted, but it's always nice. And probably now you probably get people coming in and they bring programs to you now, probably.
Yeah, we do. We do have people that suggest options and stuff like that. This one, the 13 Ways to Kill Your Community, it's a program through Network Kansas. They're actually giving us a little bit of money to pay for books and also the lunch as well. So,
okay. The commercial kitchen, we've talked about this. Ready to rent. Programming starts this Saturday.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's kind of been a process to get going. We were waiting for the door to the extension office to get fixed. So their door was locked so that we can have access to the kitchen and people can rent it and not have access to their office. So we're waiting for that. It took a long time to get the parts in, but it's now fixed. And now the kitchen is ready to be rented, and so we are taking applicants. So if people want to rent the kitchen, they can contact me, and then I'll give them an application, and then scheduling will be Maribel at the extension office, and she'll handle the bookings on the calendar. And then this Saturday, K-State Extension is offering a free class. It's on different kinds of breads, so teaching you how to bake different kinds of breads. And so you can see some information about that on their Facebook page and also on our Facebook page, kind of promoting that. And that's a Saturday. So come one, come all, come learn about bread.
What's the reception been to the revamped commercial kitchen?
It's been good. We had an opening kind of event, and we had around 30 people show up. A lot of those people were interested in learning about what Land of Kansas is doing. It's an organization that provides support for small businesses that are doing food products. And then we also, I did a talk about the commercial kitchen, what we're doing. And so we've applied for some grants to outfit the kitchen a little bit with some different things, and then also have applied for some grants for programming as well. So we're trying to ramp it up and get things rolling with that.
Okay, childcare in Stafford County. We've got some updates here too, Ryan.
Yeah. So we had one childcare provider leave in St. John in December, and we've been trying to get another one in there. It's been a little bit of a slow process. Part of that has been dealing with some of the regulations and that sort of thing with KDHE and that sort of thing. And so we've been going back and forth with them a little bit. And then Dara Bolt, who is the childcare provider that will be in there, she just got her license. I think it was yesterday. And so she'll be able to open up as soon as possible. So I'm going to be meeting with her, getting her contract signed and everything. And she's going to be open, and that will be available very soon. Probably as early as next week, she'll be able to take children in that space.
Okay, great news.
And then on top of that,
no,
Maxville and Stafford really needs childcare, and so we're working on a couple things with Stafford. One is they just got a HEAL grant for a building downtown, which is really great. They're going to renovate a 2-story building. The ground floor will be childcare, and so they need additional funding for that. So we're going to be applying for a CDBG grant, which is a community development block grant, and that application is due in May. So we'll be applying for that to renovate that part. And we're also looking at another option. The school has a space as well. The school has kind of an education space in their kind of I don't know what to call it, like their executive staff building. They have space for childcare as well. And so we're going to be looking at that as well. We're reaching out to the school to see if they'll allow us to use that space for a second childcare space for Stafford. And then in Maxville, we've had land pledged to us in the downtown area, and we're planning to build a new building there. And so that will also be part of the CDBG grant as well.
Would the same type setup would be used? You'd have a provider rent that space out to do it, or have?
Yeah. So what's interesting is that KDHE's rules and regulations are very different based on the building and based on what the provider is offering. And so the school and the downtown building in Stafford and the building in Maxwell will probably all be completely different. And so we'll have to deal with that, how that will work. And that's very challenging, and we're working with them on that. And so we'll see how it goes. We got to apply for the money first and that sort of thing. But we already have spaces available, and that's a great first step. And then we'll be looking for childcare providers after that.
Everybody's looking for childcare right now, and you're making some inroads. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay, Ryan Russell with the Stafford County Economic Development Director. We'll let him catch his breath here, and we'll be back with more of the program right after this. Ryan Russell joining us here on Focus on Stafford County here on this Thursday. We've talked about Lunch and Learns, the commercial kitchen. Programming starts Saturday, the 24th. Childcare update for St. John, Maxville, and Stafford. And, well, here we go. Grave Photo Studio. Talk about that grant and art auction.
Yeah. So, Grave Photo Studio is progressing. We just finalized the grant documents with HEAL, and now talking to with SHPO, which is the Historical Preservation Office, and making sure that all the plans are within their specifications. So I submitted everything to them, and so we've talked to the contractors, had a contractor meeting, walked through the building. Everything's good. We've got a plan in place. We're moving forward, and so construction will start. The renovations will start within the building next month, and so that's really exciting for us to be in that space doing that. I don't really know if people understand how Grays is kind of set up. Grays is a nonprofit, and Carol Long is involved. She's the director of the board, but the space itself will not be for her business at all. It's a separate entity for an art center, and they're going to be doing like art shows. They'll have resident artists in there. There's going to be an apartment in there, and it's going to be a really neat space with one room for a museum for the history of the building and the photographer W.R. Gray. It's going to be a really cool space for people to come check out, and that's really when it's finished. And hopefully we'll be finished. I'm hoping 6 to 8 months from the start of construction. We'll be mostly completed with the building. And then we're doing an art auction next month. We've got 13 artists on board now, and those artists will be donating pieces to be auctioned to raise money for Gray's studio. And so that's going to be really exciting, and hopefully that will go well, and we'll be able to raise some money to pay for some of the extra things that need to be done.
A lot of the things that you deal with or that word space. There's been a lot of space created in Stafford County here recently.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the the famous door that went into the the fair building, and that door went in and opened up an entire new world over there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, people are always like, "Hey, was that always there, or did that just appear?" Because I don't remember it being there. So,
okay, great stuff with the Gray Photo Studio, and then let's get to your housing projects right now.
So we've started some dirt work on 2 of the properties. There's a lot of details with this stuff that has to go through. Have to clear some of the land. We're moving a pole off of one piece of land that's with a gas and electric company. Moving trees. So there's a lot of stuff that has to happen to get prepared for this, besides the paperwork part. But 2 houses are about to start getting built, and so the dirt work's going forward with that. We'll have 9 houses. I think I've talked about this many times. 5 will be in St. John, 4 in Stafford. But we're really excited about it. Most of the project will be done by contractors in the county, which I'm really proud of, that we've been able to work with the contractors in the county. I got contractor contracts, some of them today. They're finalizing contracts with the subcontractors in the county, and so we're moving forward with it. And then these houses will be for sale. So if people are interested in buying a house that we're building, we have 2 different designs. One design will be the first 2 houses, and then the 7 houses will be another design. And so people are interested in buying these houses. They're 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and they'll be nice houses. And we're excited to be building them, and we'll be looking for people to buy them. So,
someone who's kind of interested right now wants to find out more. What do they need to do, Ryan?
They can call our office at Stafford County Economic Development, or they can email me at ryan@staffordecodevo.com. I'd be happy to talk to them about what it would take to purchase the house. And we're looking at different options there as well. So, yeah.
Okay, there's an EPIC grant, and kind of tell me about this. I don't know if it revolves back. I saw art in there, but I don't know if it revolves back to Gray's Photo Studio, or just kind of explain what's going on here.
Yeah, so EPIC is the program we've been part of this pilot project since May with the Kansas Creative Arts Industries Commission. All these acronyms, right? And they've been really great to work with. Been a really interesting project, and the pilot project has been like basically creating spaces for artists to do work in, or that sort of thing. So we talked about the gazebo before. That gazebo has been ordered for St. John Square, and that should arrive in May. Hopefully, we'll get it before Jubilee, so we can use it during Jubilee. We're hopefully going to have like an opening ceremony with music and stuff in the square. Then Stafford, they have a downtown space. They're doing a band shell. They're doing a park. They have a number of things. We're working with Brian Williamson from Ironworks. He's out of Maxville. A lot of people in the county know who he is. And he does some amazing metal work, nature scenes. So he's going to be doing some fencing around the park area, and also some items within the band shell and park. And then he's going to be doing some stuff for us that will be available for sale to raise money for additional money for tourism. We're going to be putting money toward tourism to invite people to the county for events and stuff like that we're going to be doing. So it's going well. Stafford is starting to go into implementation stage, and we've got the money to do it. So,
it's really cool that we're doing this in Stafford, because I mean, you have the square in St. John. Maxville's got just a wonderful park, and they've got the, what is that? Jack Kilby Square, the amphitheater or whatever. It's really neat out there. The design down there in that park, and I don't know what Stafford has particularly, but this will be really neat for community events and things like that.
Yeah, Stafford actually has a lot of really cool places. They have the Nora Larrabee Library, which has got all the stained glass in it. It's got really cool stained glass. They have a nice park as well. New pool. They have a new rec center building. They have a lot of stuff going for them. So I want to point that out that Stafford has a lot going for it. So,
well, this was just.
I'm not saying you were saying anything bad about it.
Well,
but
no,
yeah.
I was just because it goes back because I'm probably more familiar with Maxville than I am Stafford.
Oh, sure.
Sure. You want to go back a few years. Mm-hmm. I rode my bike around that park when I was 5 years old. So that know that was just a few years ago in Maxville, right?
Yeah.
So, but adding space again is kind of what's going on.
Yeah, it's really exciting because the square in St. John, actually, it's people use it. They sit and have lunch there and stuff like that. It's really beautiful. We're really lucky to have it in St. John. And then just adding the gazebo piece as well will be fun for people to hang out and have like picnics and stuff in it. And then also having live music in the square. I think that's always been something that we could do. And then Stafford's band shell and stuff. It'll be used by a lot of people. And starting to develop that downtown space as well will be really exciting. I've actually talked to the museum in Stafford about utilizing their spaces. They own several buildings downtown, utilizing their spaces for commercial space as well to actually get them income as well to be able to operate better and then things like that. So there are conversations being had with multiple organizations to do different things to utilize spaces. I don't want to say better, but more economically to benefit organizations that own those spaces. And there's just a lot. There's a lot to do.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing up the word band shell. I don't know where I got amphitheater at.
Oh, no.
The band shell in Maxville is really cool and everything else that's going on. So we're down here. We've kind of gone through your list today on kind of a rush here, but what are some other things that you're looking at or some things that maybe you want to update some folks on here in the last couple minutes that we have here today?
Okay, I'll try to do this quickly, but there's been an article out about the Stafford train depot. I don't know if you've seen that, Steve. Have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it came out 2 days ago, but it's now created kind of a tsunami per se of other articles being written about it as well, and so there's been quite a bit written about it in the last couple of days. But BNSF owns the depot
in St. John, right?
It's in Stafford.
Stafford, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
And it's an old Santa Fe depot. It's from 1911. It's really cool. And there was a guy that's been trying to acquire it for 7 years from them. Basically, they couldn't come to terms of what ownership meant. And so basically the deal's dead. So kind of in a last-ditch effort, he's started to work on this media kind of thing to get, people excited about it or upset about it, I guess, per se, of them going to demolish it. And so I did end up talking to the executives at BNSF and also the city of Stafford. And so basically it's, for the most part, it's a lost cause, to be honest. It's probably going to get demolished. But we are looking into options to move it. But that's a long shot, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be very expensive to do so, and there's not a lot of money out there for that. And so I've contacted several companies that would be able to move it. I'm waiting on numbers for that. Stafford has sort of committed to property on the highway to be able to put it there. And my general idea would be like to make a steakhouse out of it. It'd be a really cool steakhouse kind of thing on the highway. But it's kind of a long shot. And so it would be a cool project to do, but probably not realistic and probably not going to happen. And so I know the city of Stafford is getting a lot of phone calls right now. People upset that, they're not going to get the building and all that stuff. But it is owned by BNSF, and it's on their property. And they also have possible plans to use the land in the future. And so they don't want to give it away, per se. So it's a little more complicated than it's been made out to be. So, yeah.
Okay, but it's not dead yet, though.
It's close.
Okay, but there's
we're probably a week away. I mean, I started looking.
You're telling me we've got a chance, maybe?
There could be a chance if there's money available. Okay. I mean, if there's people that want to get money.
All right, that's the show today. Ryan Russell, Stafford County on KVGB.